Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode Volume 2 here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we have our second Pocono doubleheader race of this Career Mode series this season here. And in the first episode a few days ago of the Pocono doubleheader, we had a top 10 run actually, so I was pretty happy with that. But unfortunately, even with a top 10 run, we came out of that first Pocono race further below the cut line than when we went into the race. So certainly some work to do coming into this Pocono doubleheader for race number 2, and I was hopeful, of course, that we could find a little bit of fortune on our side here, and maybe hope that a guy like Alex Bowman or Matt DiBenedetto have their fair amount of issues here, because we're racing against DiBenedetto right now and Alex Bowman, specifically those two, to get into the final spot of the playoffs. So currently it's about a 3-driver race for 2 positions, so one of them is going to get the short end of the stick. Hopefully it's Matt DiBenedetto and not myself as we come through to cross the line. And qualifying though with a P21 effort here, so about the same as what we had in the first race, and I was using the same adjustments that I made in the first race and brought them into race number 2 here for qualifying in the race as well. So hopefully we can get a little bit more up to speed a little bit quicker here in this second race than we did in the first one. But unfortunately we start behind both the guys we need to beat, Alex Bowman as well as Matt DiBenedetto. Actually, Kyle Busch there on the pole after winning the first race here of the weekend. One thing immediately, though, that certainly helps us is you see in the pre-race here, Matt DiBenedetto actually failed pre-race inspection, so he is going to be starting at the back of the grid. Now, that's not going to make a difference if I can't pick up any stage points here over that 21 car of DiBenedetto, so we'll have to get our elbows out here and see if we can pull something off here now as we are ready to go back. Green flag racing for the second time in this Pocono doubleheader weekend here as we are officially underway. Alex Bowman there just in front of us, but Kyle Busch up on the front here. He won in the first race in the last episode, and he has been so strong this season, more wins than anybody this season so far. So can he continue that dominance into today's episode? You can see up ahead, Chase Elliott already up the inside of Kyle Busch. Took it 3 wide for the lead with him and Kyle Larson here as we exit turn 1. You saw myself actually got down onto the apron right there into the turn 1. Not what I wanted to do, but just with the weird handling sometimes that you get with this car, just kind of shot down there. So we get ahead though of that 48 of Alex Bowman to the back now of one of these front row cars of Michael McDowell now as we go up the inside. Why do they call it front row motorsports when they're never on the front row? Anyways, aside from that here, we're going to get past that number 34 and already up into P16. So we've gained 5 spots, trying to gain a 6th spot on this opening lap against Bubba Wallace, and we do just that. So up into P15 here on this opening lap already. I was very happy with that here now, and you don't have a lot of time to get things done in stage 1, just like that first race, only 6 laps, but by the time we came to the end of the second lap, I had run down both my teammates here of Tyler Reddick as well as Austin Dillon, and we talked about it in the last episode. We're not really worried about helping our teammate Tyler Reddick as much because, well, he's already locked in with the win at Sonoma Raceway. Now Austin Dillon, we're going to of course be a little bit more careful around racing him because as well, he's in the playoffs, he's comfortably inside the playoffs, but he's not locked in, so we got to be careful around him. But we still got to race for ourselves. We got to get going here. We got to try and get some stage points here in stage 1. Both the 48 and the 21 are behind us currently, so this is an opportunity as we close in on these final 6-7 races left in the regular season. It's just full-on playoff focus at this point, so really trying to focus on getting some stage points here in this first stage. And we got past Austin Dillon just about, but it didn't quite happen. He would be able to stay ahead of me. He would pass Ross Chastain. I would also pass Ross Chastain. Actually up into P13 we would go, and now here we are trying to run down Austin Dillon and Kevin Harvick and all of these guys here in these closing laps of stage 1, and you can see they were all kind of clumped together, and this was opening the door for me to be able to reel them all in here. So up into P13, but by the time we came through to a lap and I have to go on the stage, look how much better we can roll that tunnel turn than these surrounding cars here. So we're going to be able to pass, hopefully, our teammate of Austin Dillon, pass Kevin Harvick as well here as we head down into turn 3. And there we go, up into P11 side by side with Ryan Blaney for that 10th and final stage point here as we approach this final lap. I was stuck behind Joey Logano right there for the majority of the first half of the lap, so actually down in P12 as we came through the tunnel turn because Austin Dillon gets by, but here we are up the inside, into the rear actually of William Byron. That destroyed our shot right there, potentially at a stage point. I was trying to make it 3 wide. Unfortunately, as I'm turning across the track, I just got into the back of the 24 instead, so doing myself no favors there, and an opportunity to get stage points is not going to happen now as we just had nothing for the cars in front of us on the exit of turn 3. So we crossed the line for the 12th position here in stage 1. Certainly would not have complained if that was for the 2nd position, but nonetheless nonetheless, Martin Truex Jr. wins the stage over Kyle Busch there. Truex missed a few races earlier on in the season, if you remember, due to Ty Gibbs replacing him after he had an injury. But here he is, I mean, looking so strong now here today as we are ready to go back green flag racing in this second stage. So we lose a little bit of ground here with P14 for the restart. So definitely a few more spots to make up. Alex Bowman is on the road directly behind me. So like we said, him, Matt DiBenedetto, those are the two guys we're focused on beating for the rest of the season. But as well, we don't really know what's going to happen here with the future of new winners and whatnot. We don't know if we're going to see 16, 17 winners. It's unlikely we're going to see 16, 17 winners. It's very unlikely, actually. But you can never write it off. You can never know what's going to happen here with these AI and some of the races that just turn into, complete insanity. But nonetheless, we're not really focusing on that because I do believe we're not going to see those 16 winners here. And we're going to be in a race with Matt DiBenedetto and Alex Bowman for those final spots on points. So 11 laps here in stage 2, a very, very lengthy second stage. And stage 2 is basically the same length that the third and final stage is actually here now as we come through to the inside of William Byron there. He's going to be able to stay ahead as Martin Truex Jr. continues to lead the way down in towards turn 1, but still 10 laps to go in stage 2. So plenty of time for things to happen here in the second stage, but we definitely need to get the ball rolling here because we need those stage points, and Bowman is just behind us, so he can kind of have the luxury of actually following me through. I don't want to give Alex Bowman that luxury, so I said, get out of here, Alex, and I'm really getting on the move here, and we make a move to the inside of Kevin Harvick here on lap 2, down into turn 3, maybe even a chance to get up the inside of the number 2 of Brad Keselowski. Yes, we absolutely get that opportunity here, side by side, a little bit of contact actually as we exit the corner here, but we're going to continue on his door here, but I was going to side draft and then I just completely blew my opportunity to actually do that. So we continued down this front stretch and we would battle with Kevin Harvick. We were side by side with that 4 car again, but we would be able to get back out in front of him with the tunnel turn. The tunnel turn is really the focal point of this track for me. This is where I'm able to get through so much better than everybody else. So we'd be back up at the 12th place, and now smoke in front of us, so crashing to the inside wall. It's Kyle Busch, the dominant driver of the weekend, has crashed out here in Pocono. That is big right there. A big opportunity for us because that's an extra point available, which is certainly exactly what I wanted to see, but very unfortunate for that number 18 of Kyle Busch, who's going to be out of the tricky triangle race here in Pocono. So press F to pay respects for Kyle Busch. Getting ready though to go back green flag racing here again in this second stage, and it's going to be about halfway through, a little bit past halfway through in this second stage here. Now in 11th place, in a good spot here to get some stage points now because the direct row in front of us is where the stage points lie. Bowman just on my rear bumper here, getting a little bit tired of seeing him right on my bumper. And then I'll take a quick glance back, and there's Matt DiBenedetto only a few rows back. Daniel Suarez, my Alliance teammate, doing an absolutely giga Chad move right there and sends one up the inside of the 48 of Bowman and sends him backwards a little bit. So thank goodness Suarez is going to be able to come in and kind of get the assist for me right there. So up into P10 past the 2 of Brad Keselowski. Into stage points we go. It's 1 point, but that 1 point is going to make such a difference when the points battle is so close currently. But as this race continued on, or this stage was continuing on, I should say, this car was getting stronger here. The tires are wearing, and that's a common trend with this 4-star RCR car here in our rookie season that I've noticed is that the more the tires seem to wear, the better my car seems to get compared to the AI drivers. So we continue trying to work our way forwards now, the inside of that number 1 of Kurt Busch here, wheel to wheel with him on the exit of that tunnel turn, our strongest point once again here on the circuit, and we're going to be able to pass him probably into turn 3. He's able to maintain side by side. We know we don't have the best straight line speed here in this number 27 Flow Racing machine, but through the corner right there, can we get cleared? No, Kurt Busch, he's actually going to stay to my quarter, but I kind of chopped his nose a little bit. I said, you know what, Kurt, I'm taking the position. Now up the inside of Joey Logano, coming to 2 laps to go in the stage, and this one, again, we were able to just breeze through that tunnel turn, get the advantage, a little bit of contact with Logano. I do not want to make him rivals again and deal with what we did there in that first career mode, but down into turn 3, we would be able to pass him and take 8th place. We weren't done yet though, being on the move. Here we are closing in on the back of that driver of Kyle Larson there in that Hendrick Auto or HendrickCars.com, whatever the heck it is. We passed him for P7, so an easy pass by the way on Kyle Larson. Final lap at this point here in stage 2. Look who we're closing in on now. Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney leads the way here down towards the tunnel turn looking for a stage win, and I'm waiting here. I'm not going to try and go up the inside of Elliott yet. I'm going to time it right here where I can get a fantastic exit out of the tunnel turn like this, and then don't mind if I do. Slip up the inside, an easy pass right there. Up at a P6, we're even going to have enough momentum to look to the inside of the FedEx Toyota Camry of Denny Hamlin down into turn 3, and we're going to be side by side with him. Martin Truex Jr. there just in front of us now as we exit turn 3. It's going to be wheel to wheel with Hamlin here down the front straightaway. Not going to be enough in the car though on the exit, so Hamlin's going to be able to hold us off. Elliott just behind. We cross the line here for a very, very solid top 10 finish. That is exactly what we wanted to see here in Pocono. Ryan Blaney with the stage victory, so a great result for him with a playoff point. Christopher Bell up there in second place. As you see the rest of the order, both De Benedetto and Bowman miss out on stage points, but they are certainly not far back. So we just got 5 points, so we cut the gap in by about 5 points obviously so far overall today as the third and final stage gets underway after we gain a spot on the pit lane as well up in P5. So we came into this race 18 points below the cut line. Now as the stage starts, we're only going to be 13 points out. So back underway here in stage 3 in about the same amount of laps here like we said in this third stage that we had in that second stage, and we're gonna dive down into turn 1. And my car certainly what I've noticed over this weekend is the short run, it doesn't really favor my car, so I was a little bit concerned for this final stage here because I knew it was going to be tough to be able to hold on to everything I gained there at the end of stage 2. And Hamlin and myself side by side here down this first back straightaway and down into the tunnel turn. This is our opportunity to get ourselves back out in front of that 11 car, but you can see here, this is how you can tell I'm going to struggle on the short run, because even with my strongest part of the circuit, I'm just not quite able to do much right there. And Hamlin's actually going to be able to just about clear myself here down into turn 3, but we lunge back up the inside, just trying to make this battle happen, but it's not going to happen. Out of the corner, Hamlin gets clear, so we drop back down into P6, and here comes now that number 9 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet of Chase Elliott here. You can see the lack of speed in this 27 car down the straightaway, so Elliott is going to be pretty even with us. Actually, he might even get clear down into turn 1. Yes, Elliott even manages to clear me down into the corner. Logano just behind as well. Kurt Busch, Larson, I was expecting all these guys to be able to pounce all over me here in these closing laps of this race in Pocono, the tricky triangle for the Pocono 350. But we're going to fight as hard as we can because we're having a nice top 10 run here. Pocono has treated us well so far this weekend. We hope that it continues to do so here now as Logano is side by side with Larson in the background, and actually he would get clear of that number 5 Logano would. So we hold on to P7 briefly, but I was worried with that short run pace. I didn't think I was going to be able to remain right up here with Chase Elliott or Denny Hamlin, and unfortunately that would be proven to be, well, it would be right, because you can see on lap 27, look at the gap, over a second now between myself and Chase Elliott here. Now I had a rear view mirror full of Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, and Kurt Busch. The tunnel turn was the only thing giving me hope because that would allow me to open up a gap, but then in turn 1 as well as right here in turn 3, Larson, Logano, Kurt, they would all close back up to me, and then it was just all about defense down into turn 1, trying to hold them back, but I knew it wasn't going to last long, and sure enough that would be proven as well. 5 laps ago, lap 31, here goes Larson up the inside and bringing that number 1 Monster Energy Chevrolet with them here, so down to 8th place, and we might cycle through down into 9th place as well. Yes, we do. So unfortunately we give up a couple of positions right there. Now of course what's one of the positives is we are still beating Alex Bowman and Matt De Benedetto, so we got to look at it that way. We're beating the guys we need to be beating. We're not really focusing on right now at this point in the season beating Kyle Larson or Kurt Busch or Joey Logano. We just need to beat, there's only 2 cars, we're racing 2 cars, not even 38 at this point now, so continuously trying to remain with that 1 car and 5 car of Busch and Larson and 2 laps to go in this race, and we've done a good job actually rallying back. We had hit that point where the tires were now starting to favor me once again here, and that allowed me to pull away from Joey Logano and put the fight to Kurt Busch here, side drafting him hard here down this first back straightaway, closing in on about the halfway point of his car, right up to his left rear tire actually here as we head down into this tunnel turn. It's going to be wheel to wheel on the exit of that tunnel turn here. Kurt's not going to give it up, but certainly I can't give it up either because every point matters here as we head down into turn 3, just hoping that I would clear that number 1 of Kurt Busch, and yes, we would here approaching this final lap in Pocono. No yellows in this final stage here as we continue to try and put the fight now to Kyle Larson, who leaves the door wide open. Up the inside we go, and Ryan Blaney leads the way down towards that tunnel turn for the final time, and look at the pace we found in these closing handful of laps here in this tricky triangle now as we're going to get on that left rear of Kyle Larson. The fuel icon comes on. Not enough of a side draft right there on Larson here as we head down into the tunnel turn, but we know we're so strong through here, and we cut down. I didn't get through the tunnel turn as good as I could have. The tire icon comes on as well, but it doesn't matter, obviously. Ryan Blaney leads the way through turn 3. He's going to go down the front straightaway to win here in Pocono, but we're going to be scrapping it out with Kyle Larson here. Through turn 3, we clear him at ease here now, and we should be able to stay ahead of him. Yes, we will. Out of the corner. A very strong day for us here in terms of the performance overall of this car throughout this season. We crossed the line here in Pocono for a back-to-back top 10 finish here. P7, I think we were, P8 in the first race, if I remember correctly. So I was very happy with the results there. As you can see, the other finishers with Bowman and Matt Benedetto as well getting a very respectable finish for themselves. So that is where it's going to get interesting here. They still had overall very solid days, and we're going to see how that affects the point standings here. As you see me looking at the point standings throughout some of the Trucks and Xfinity standings as well. But where are we? That's the big question here on the Cup Series grid, and where we find ourselves situated in this playoff situation. How far out are we after that good strong race for us in Pocono? We are 7 points out, so we gained 11 points here today. Blaney with his third win on the season as well, but it's proving to be a fight between myself as well as that 48 and 21. If you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. That's going to wrap it up for us here today after this Pocono doubleheader has concluded. In the next one, we have a track that I think could favor us pretty well, and that is the road course at Road America. So I'm excited for that one. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day for watching. I appreciate the support so much, and I will see you guys in the next one for some more road course racing. Have a great day, everybody.